All right, so this week we're going to talk about audience. Essentially, we're starting our magazine project, so we're going to look at what to say and who to say it to. And always keep in mind you want to write for your audience. So, why is that important? What happens if you don't write for your audience? What happens if you say the wrong thing to the wrong person? Well, I wonder. Surely it's not always like that, though, right? I mean, yeah, maybe you can get in trouble with your boss, but it doesn't really matter how you talk any other time, does it? I mean, it's not like you would speak to your friends any differently you talk to your grandpa, right? So, Gramps, I was up at the pipeline last weekend hitting some sweet surfing, and I wanted to try my new Minnie Mouse since my old one has some ding. So while I'm out paddling through some sharky water, I noticed a mega gnarly double overhead swelling. So I got ready to paddle into it, hang 10 on the deck so I could ride the crest. Then some goofy-footed dude in a lime green rashie tried to drop in on me, and I knew I had to bail. So I tried to turtle roll in the pipe, but the dude's nose axed me, and he left me tombstoning. When I surfaced, dude looked at me and he said, "That was sick. Boost I got off your board granted me some epic air." And I was like, "Dude." And he was like, "Dude." And I was like, "Dude." I guess it is important. But now, in both of those situations, it's just you talking to one person. So, I mean, yeah, in that case, you want to make sure you're using, a certain vocabulary because there's a good chance they won't understand you. But if you're talking to a lot of people at one time, it doesn't really matter how you talk, right? Because somebody out there will understand you. So, I mean, do newscasters have to be careful with what they say, or can they just talk like they would any other time? Hey, oh, let's do it again. Our stations in New York City, we send you live to Troy, Alabama, to find a man in search of his dog. Now, I understand this is difficult, but could you, in your own words, maybe tell us what happened? That's right. Well, my dog, he's little, and, well, a couple of crows flew by in the yard, and he got a little scared and he ran off, and I haven't seen him since. I just got him over his fear of butterflies, and he wasn't ready for the crows yet, but they came out anyway, and I just miss him so much, and Fluffy, I found him. I found you. Oh, Fluffy, how are you? Oh, you scared me so much. That's your dog? I saw him the whole time, but honestly, I thought it was a rat. Well, back to you. Yeah, I guess you have to be careful no matter who you're talking to, huh? Um, so, what we call this idea of knowing what to say and when to say it is called code switching. And think of it as literally kind of using a different language depending on the situation that you're speaking in. So, you don't talk to your friends the same way you might talk to our principal. You wouldn't talk to, somebody that you have a crush on the same way that you would talk to, your best friend who you're irritated at the moment. Um, and so you have to be careful, especially when you are looking to produce something for other people. So, for example, our magazine project. When you're looking to put something out for other people to read or watch or listen to, you have to be very careful at what kind of language you use because you want to make sure that A, you're using appropriate language. Is this supposed to be formal, informal? Is this the opportunity to use slang, or is this a time where slang should not be a thing? And you also have to think about, what words can I use so that the most people can understand? Generally, slang is not going to fall into that category. Slang is a very isolated thing. And so you want to use what's considered more academic language. In writing, that means we're not using contractions. We're not using text spellings. Use Y-O-U instead of the letter U, things like that. But it's just about knowing what to use, what to say, and when it's the right time to say it. So be thinking of this as we go through this magazine project. We're going to be using this a lot because you're going to have a lot of written segments in this, interviews, you're going to have articles, you're going to have advertisements, and we're going to think about what type of words we want to use so that it's the right kind of product. For the most part, we're going to be using more formal language. So there's going to be some activities right below this on formal language versus informal language to kind of get us ready for it. And then we're going to kick it off from there.